Hey guys, welcome back to 5 Minutes with a Technician. My name is Daniel. So today I want to show you how to do a little profiling real quick, and let's get into it. So first off, I've got my profile drawn, I've got my square drawn. Okay, cool. Right now it's broken. Well, it's not broken. In Easystone everything's broken until you join it, but at any rate, but what we're going to do is we're going to apply it on a single line. You could do it all four sides and then break it too. Couple different ways to do it, but I kind of like the result that I get when I do it this way. It probably is a little more tedious. I guess it just depends how you look at it. But at any rate, I've had a lot of success doing it this way, so I'll show you this. So single line, boom, I've got my profile here, nothing selected. So first thing I'm going to go to is frame. You will find that in the build tab. Okay, so down here you've got build. We're going to hit frame, select the guide. That is our edge that we're trying to profile. Okay, I'm going to hit OK. Select the section. That is actually the profile. So section equals profile. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to hit OK and pick our starting point. So if we go to like a 3D view, I can see that my thing's actually reversed. So I'm going to hit invert, boom. Okay, and I'm going to right click, go to endpoint, and I'm going to put it like that. Bam, sweet. That would be enough. Okay, if I wanted to do that to all four sides, I can do that. I can, go back to frame. I hit spacebar on my keyboard and I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to go boom, section, and we're just going to go bam. I'm going to hit it again. Boom, 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 boom. And this, oh yeah, the section's good. I'm getting ahead of myself. Spacebar to bring up your last command, at least on mine. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, sweet. So we're left with this kind of thing, right? You see the corners are kind of sticking out, right? It doesn't make a perfect corner. Kind of, that's okay, honestly, because the way that Easystone works, this is an easy way to not have the blade drop in right on the corner, okay? Because when you have blades drop right in on the corner, you have the potential to chip out the corners, right? So we could start way out here, out in space, and this by default will do that. So that's one of many ways to do that. Anyways, this is the way that my mentor Byron taught me. So this is what you get. All right, you could do it the other way. I do it the other way sometimes too, where I will take, I guess I could show you real quick. Let's not get too far off track though, because I tend to do that. So if I had a square out here, you could do a frame. So you could go frame, you could select the whole piece. Let me do control click. Boom, you could do a section, boom, and let me invert it. So you could do like that too. The difference is that we're not left with these little tails, but when I go to apply a profile to it, it's going to want to do all four sides and the top, and it can be a little annoying to do that. So you would have to close it in and also explode it. So you would, go to the, where's the bomb? You'd have to explode it. When you do that, then all of a sudden it's individual pieces, but you see sometimes you're left with like middle pieces that are kind of weird. I don't know, multiple ways to do it. The way that I was taught is to do it like this, and this works pretty well. I've ran this a lot like that. Or you could also do it like this. Sometimes when I'm feeling like, I don't know, advanced, or when I want to try to be more faster or something, or I want it to be simpler, I'll do it like this. I'll draw it like that and I'll explode it. But at any rate, two different ways to do it. This way is probably the most official way, even though it looks kind of silly. But at any rate, let's get rid of that. let's proceed. So when I'm done drawing, I'm going to get rid of everything else and just have just the profile, just the shape, right? I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to go to my machine tab. That's the next one over. And normally you'll go into the box automatically, but because I've been in here before, I got to click on box. Okay, I'm going to hit minimum box. And there we go. So that's kind of the shape. Your color scheme might be different. Mine's something else. Anyways, minimum box, hit apply, and okay. I'm going to recalculate. That's going to put my starting location at the corner of the piece. Boom. We're going to click on our profile and we're going to apply a machining to this. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go to my surface rough and I'm going to apply something. So like this one, I have roughing. I don't know what all these other ones are right now. Roughing front, roughing side. We got some custom stuff in here, but let's just start out with just roughing. Okay, let's hit add. So you see it's doing like this little weird thing here. So it's trying to avoid the corners. Okay, so all we need to do is right click and exclude surfaces. We're going to tell it to not worry about these corners that are sticking out. So boom, boom, I clicked that other one. I don't know if you can see that. We have 2 selected in our surfaces list here. I'm just going to hit apply. Boom, all of a sudden that is smoothed out. It's doing what I want. All right, that is that. So if we look at this, motor sides over the top of the part, water spitting out to the left. For this one, I'm pretty much done. You know, here's your step values if you wanted to adjust the step. I like to look at them from the side. Let me go to like a left view. Make sure we're getting completely on the profile. It looks like we are. Looks like we are. You could even take it a step further if you. Where is she? I might have to do that after. I was going to do a little simulation just to see. But if I look at it, I can see that that blade is going to be probably like actually right out here. So it's going to get the full edge. That's good. Go ahead and click OK. We are done with this one. Okay, so just for reference, because this is a tutorial, let me go to a left view. Before I get out of this screen, let me explain a couple things. So distance run, that's your step in between. Okay, so if you had like, let's say, if you wanted to do a larger step, you could do that. Boom. If you wanted to do a smaller step, you could do that. Completely up to you. If you wanted to do, you know, step cuts that were more than just an 1/8 inch per pass, because that can be kind of small. You know, it just depends what you're working with. So you could do stuff like that. The angle is the direction of the blade. So sometimes by default, you'll see it in the next one. We have to adjust the angle, the direction of it, because say like now it came in, you know, now it did that. So angle, boom, let's hit that one. And an important one to know is the direction here. So you have bottom to top. That's just it starting out here at the bottom of the profile and working this way versus starting at the top and working outward. So if I changed it the other way, you'll see it actually goes that way. It starts over here. So anyway, very, very customizable, very, very easy. I like that. That is nice. Typically, I like to work from the outside working in, but it just depends. You know, some people with more experience might do the other. I don't know. Anyways, let's be done with this. Let's hit OK. Boom. Bada bing. Bada boom. Let's do the next one. So I'll do this one faster. I was just trying to elaborate a bit. So roughing, you can click add or you can click double click. You can just double click on it. Either way. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to adjust the angle. Boom. Let's try a 90. Okay, water spraying out towards the front of the machine. I don't like that. I'm going to go -90 to get the water spraying out the back. All right, sweet. Water that way. Exclude surfaces. I'm going to exclude that one and that one. I'm going to hit apply. I think I hit it. There we go. And that is it. If I wanted to, I can make these match what I had over there. One thing to note is, like, if you like your settings, you can save them. So when I apply this again in the future, it'll save this kind of stuff. These are called kits. These are basically your saved settings. So this one, I want it starting on the outside. So I'm going to hit direction. I'm going to go top to bottom. I'm going to hit apply. There we go. So that is that. Water spraying at the back, the profile. It's running along the front edge of the profile. I got my step set, got my distance run adjusted, the angle. That's it. All right. There we go. I'm not going to pay attention to this time estimation. Mine's not updating right now. I don't know why. Let's continue. Roughing. Bam, water spraying over there. Oh, before I do this, let me hit cancel actually. So, like for example, I have some settings that I want to save. If I like this, this setup with these steps and this distance between the cuts, you can just right click on your operation. You could either A, overwrite it, or B, create a new one. We'll just say video roughing, whatever. You can name it Chad's roughing, whatever, I don't care. So now when I go to select this and I go back to my surface rough, I'll have the one that I just saved right here. So all your settings have been saved. So like it came in at that -90, the distance run is already set, your step Z's are set, that kind of stuff. Okay, so let me just change this. My computer's running super slow. Okay, boom, set the angle, exclude the surfaces, bam, 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 apply, and okay. So one thing I should also talk to you about is the length of exit. So we kind of did this by making these profiles long, but if you wanted to extend the exit or the entrance of this, it's this value, length exit. I should have showed you this earlier, maybe. So if I set that to like 5 inches, she'll start way out in space and then come in. So like I said, you can, save that, whatever works for you, whatever you want kind of thing. I think it was like something like 0.19. So anyways, yeah, that's that. But we kind of achieved something similar by doing this, by applying it per line. It kind of like forces it to do that. And that becomes handy with brushing especially. So like we can do this with roughing, this length exit, but I'm not so sure that we can do this with brushing. So this kind of forces the brushing to start out here in space as well. So you'll see that in just a second. Yeah, let's see. That one's good. We'll do this last one. Video rough. You can, goodness, come on, computer. Oh, come on, computer. I think it's almost time for me to get a computer. Oh, goodness, exclude surfaces. Bam, 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 bam. And I want it to start on the outside. So let's go bottom to top, hit apply. That's done. Anyways, that's all of our roughing, okay? Sure there's a faster way. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's not. Maybe there is, whatever. So the next one we're going to do is brushing. So I'm going to click on my surface. You see I've got it highlighted, right? Boom, I've got the first one. I'm going to go to brushing, surface. So surface finish, I got one for brushing, and I'm going to hit add. All right, so first things first, it's coming in at the angle that I don't want. So let's try 90. And there we go, that's better. And you see I got to exclude the surfaces. So right click, exclude surfaces, bam, bam, apply. Okay. So right off the rip, we can see this kind of happening where this might be a setting that we have kind of going on, but it's going to be in our contour. You see it, I guess what I'm seeing is that it's not coming all the way down to the edge. Okay, it's kind of stopping short here. So if we go into our contour settings, we see we have a surface surface's contour is being applied. And we're telling it basically stay inside of this edge. So there's some things that you can try. Let's see if I did no offset. Let's just see. No offset, boom. So it goes out to the edge, but it starts coming up here. You know, sometimes this is like, you kind of have to wrestle with this a little. Oh, you know what? Let's go back. Let's tell it internal, ignore raw. Still doesn't really give me what I want, right? So you got all these other ones. So I guess the default one would be no contour, where it's just gonna take the entire length of the thing. The one that I use a lot is called zone. So if we go into zone, check the zone on, it gives me this overlay on the top. All right, these directional arrows, that's the zone. It's like pick where you want it to apply, you know, like that kind of thing. So I'm gonna drag that, I clicked on that white arrow, and now I'm dragging it where I want it to apply to. So I'm gonna right click, I'm gonna use like endpoint, and I'm gonna pick the corner here, this little intersection, to see if I can keep it up off the face and apply right here. And let's bring this one out just a touch. Let's right click, go to sketch. Let's bring that out, and we'll click OK and apply. Oh, did I hit apply? Yep, there we go. All right, so now I've got better coverage on the front, probably a touch more than I need. I can't, let me go to a left view and see what she's, okay, so I actually probably brought it out a little too far. You see it's got this little stutter step back in on the front edge, but the top is probably pretty close. Let's go back to our zone. And I'm in sketch for my snap point, and I'm just gonna bring it back just a fuzz. Bring that one back a little bit. I'll hit apply and we'll take a look. There it goes. Okay, so maybe that's just the look of it. Let's just focus on one side at a time. Oh, this is actually a pretty nice view from here. I really don't need it all the way out there. So let's bring it back. Okay, that's probably getting pretty close. Yeah, I mean, that's half the blade on, half the blade off. That would probably be sufficient. If you right click, you should be able to start a simulation that's not hyperspeed. Can we stop? Holy smokes. Sorry guys, my laptop's running super slow. I don't know if it's my connection or what, but anyways. I can drag this little toggle and see exactly where she's gonna end. So we would deal with probably a little flat spot there, it looks like, because it's not coming all the way out, right? So we need to extend this zone. Let's get out of here. Probably should have just left my zone alone. Let's go back to zone. And apply. Let's see what that's gonna do. Now, with this being said, there's a couple different ways around this. One is messing with the zone, right? I've seen that a lot. The other, I think, I don't know if it's video worthy, we could play around with it. If I come back to the draw tab and I click on this guy, let's go here to build. There's one, where is it? Oh, enlarge surfaces, right? So right here, I can enlarge this to force the brushing to come out further. But I don't need like a lot. You know, I don't want a ton of wasted time. Maybe I just want like a 1/4 inch or so. Let's see if that's sufficient. So I could go bam, and let's try that before I do all 4. Okay, so I just enlarged the surfaces, just that one. So let's come back into yeah. Let's come in here. Oh, surface fin. Oh, come on. And we'll go brushing, add. Boom, 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 boom. 90. Hit apply. And let's exclude these damn surfaces. Bam, bam, bam. And now it's going right up to the edge. Actually, it's going even, yeah, but it's maintaining that trajectory, right? So it's not like stutter stepping in or doing anything real interesting. This looks, honestly, this looks a lot better. Like first look, I would say that that's probably good, right? It's like, that's probably, I think that's probably good. Let's see. Let's hit OK. Let's see if I can, oh goodness me. This this computer, I'm gonna throw it out here in a second. Pause, dang boy, come on. Yeah, so that looks better. You're really left with a good edge. It could potentially come out even further, but I mean, you might be left with just a fuzz there. I mean, we're really zoomed in on it. We're really zoomed in, so maybe, well, maybe it's the angle I'm looking at it too. Let me see if I can go to a perfect. Do I got a left view? Oh yeah. So I mean, that's probably okay. What I like to do is I really like to look at a 3D rendering of this. So let me just turn these off. So let's turn that one, turn that one, turn that one. So we're really just doing front edge right now. Bam, bam. Go through our disposition page. We're going to just hit OK. I want to see what the 3D view looks like before I proceed and do that same thing to all of them. Come on, come on. Okay, let's check out our 3D. All right, she's gonna come in. She's gonna hog this thing out. Bop, 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 bop. Oh, geez, come on. Ruining my video, big dog, come on. I'm talking to myself, by the way. All right, so this is fine, but, oh, and I gotta remember, like, it's showing the block as, you know, the very corner of it. Ooh, hogging off a lot of materials, what it looks like. But if we look at this 3D rendering, I mean, that looks pretty clean. Am I seeing it right? I think, yeah. We can really see kind of what she looks like. Mine is probably not as clear as it should be. Let me see what my settings are. Virtual milling. No, I mean, I got it on high detail. You could go very high, but it does look a little like jagged, but that's just the rendering of it. But I mean, I think that got full edge cleanup is kind of the gist of it. So let's get out of here. So really, that brushing looks good. So the way I was able to do this is enlarge the surface after coming into machining, because we don't want the box like to be recalculated, the material thickness or anything. So let's just come in here, enlarge these surfaces. 1/4 inch is sufficient. Bam, 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 bam. Enlarge surface. It's already doing that. And enlarge the surface. Boom. So anyways, you see what we're kind of doing. We're using the geometry, or I guess, I don't know, the surface to get the machining to do what we want. Okay, so you know, we did that with these ends to extend the exit, so now it's going to brush out here in space instead of right onto the corner. We do the same thing with enlarging the surface down here, this kind of situation. So that's, let me just turn these back on and we will apply our brushing to the other ones and we'll be done. So, okay, the direction's okay, right click. There's a lag. There's a lag, because I don't know if it's because I'm recording and whatnot, but what? Oh, frick, man, come on. exclude surface, apply. And okay, sorry, I was getting a call. Come on. My computer is just running so poorly, and I don't know why. Exclude surface. Ah, I missed it. It's because this lag, I swear. Let's see, okay. So that is that. So we got all 4 applied, just how we want it. There's your profile, right? So we did roughing, we did brushing. One thing to note is this is your order of operations here, so it's going to follow this. So it's going to go, that one, that one, that one, that one, do all the roughing, come back, brush, 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 brush. That is that. This is to lock the order, these little lock symbols. So if you're like really, really done, you can lock these in place if you want, because there is some auto-generated ordering that can come into play in the splitting screen. I haven't shown you that, and I don't intend to if this is a profiling video. So verify disposition, let's hit OK. Bam, bam, bam. And let's see our finished product. Come on, computer. You can do it, baby. Let's go. Click OK, and we'll hit play. Bam. Damn you, computer. You're ruining my video. Turn the speed up. Do. Turn her down because she's getting to the brushing. So these steps, I mean, they look a little rough. Maybe it's probably not a real big profile anyways. But like that's like really hogging off a lot of material. It looks like it's going low, but that's because I'm drawing it at profile height. Most likely this is just the top of something. If you wanted to, you can go back to disposition. You could put a shim under it, and that's basically going to elevate it just for the simulation. Let's say we'll put a little 4-inch piece under it or something just for the sim, just so we can see it and it doesn't look like she's digging into the table or something crazy. Or if you had blocking, you're supposed to use shims. Like if you want to simulate it, really it's just for simulation out at our machine. The shim's not, it's like, it's really just for the simulation in here is all I'm trying to say. I'm just going to skip through these machinings maybe. Apparently I don't have my settings right, hold on. When I skip, it's supposed to update the virtual milling to show that it's roughed all that out. So I guess I just have to hit play and speed through it. There's just a setting in the configure menu for that. Click OK. Let's hit play. I'm just going to blast through this. Like a front view kind of thing. So we see it's like up off the table now just for our simulation because we applied a shim to it. Oh, crap. Oh, I can see it, I think, right? So if you have a better graphics card or computer, this simulation looks a lot nicer over there. Mine doesn't render it nearly as well as it should. Like I just came back from a customer and they had a really nice computer, and like it does like 3D light reflections and it just looks so much cleaner. This looks like freaking Minecraft in here in comparison. That's it. She's getting full edge cleanup. There she is. So if we wanted more edge cleanup, like I can't really tell in here if it's leaving a lip or not, but if it was, we would just, you know, extend your surface out using enlarged surface probably more. You could do that. You can adjust the zone, many things that you can do to get it how you want it. Yeah, and I think it's getting the full edge. It's really close if it's not. But at any rate, that is kind of the video. See if we can look at the finished part smoothly. Yeah, I mean that's looking pretty clean there. Oh, geez. Having the 3D rendering of the whole machine is cool until parts are in the way, like the table or the walls or something. Yep, that looks pretty clean. Very nice. Time estimation. I don't believe that. It says 10 minutes. I just can't believe that. There's no way. I don't know. 10 minutes, 50 seconds. I don't believe it, but maybe my settings are all crazy. I don't know what I have in here for stuff. But that is it. Enlarge surfaces to bring those edges out. You can do zones, that kind of stuff. That is the video. Anyways, if you have questions, please feel free to hit me up. Like, comment, subscribe. All right, peace.